So this is very, very important. Okay. Because in the college days, college life, we learn the effects of modalities. Yes. What are the effect of laser, effect of ultrasound, effects of IFT, TENS, any heating modalities, cryotherapies. We learn that. So we are after completing degree, we are strong in the using modalities. But in the college life period, we are not reading that what are the effect of exercise on our body. So what exercise will do? How the cardio exercise will have an impact in our body? Or strength training exercise, what is the impact? Breathing exercise, what will impact in our respiratory system or other system like that? We never learn. Okay. So that is why after completing degree, we'll fully rely on the modalities. We couldn't able to fully assess the patient and we couldn't able to treat their goals. Okay, just we are treating the symptoms by using modalities. Okay, because we are reading about modalities. Okay, so knowing the effects of exercise on various systems is very, very, very important. Okay, so first we'll see cardiovascular system. Okay, so in cardiovascular system, whenever we are doing any physical activity, on that time, each cellular activities will be very high. Your muscles has to work, it has to produce ATPs. So if you are physically doing any physical activity, oxygen demand will increase. Okay, so oxygen will be moved all over the body by the blood. That means by the heart. Yes. So cardiac muscles load will be very high. So whenever the cardiac muscle is getting some load, what will happen? It will strengthen the cardiac muscle. Yes. So once the cardiac muscle is having good strength means what will happen? In one contraction, it is having high strength. Cardiac muscle is having high strength means the force of contraction will be very high. So in one contraction, that is one pump, more amount of blood will be comes out because it is having good strength. So with the high force, the cardiac muscle will go for contraction. So what will happen? The cardiac output and reserve volume will be increased. So if the heart is really producing more amount of cardiac output means each and every part of our body will receive more amount of blood. So even it will fulfill the microvascular structures also. So small tiny blood vessels also will receive the blood because we are having more amount of blood now. Okay, so it will improve the all cellular activities in our body. Okay, so whenever you are doing any physical activity, it will increase the demand, it will strengthen the cardiac muscles, so it will improve the cardiac output and reserve volume. That means it better the cardiac functions. That's all. Okay, so the other effects of exercise in our cardiovascular system is it will decrease the resting heart rate. Okay, so if you are consistently doing exercise, that means the resting heart rate will decrease. Then it will lower the risk of developing cardiovascular disease. Then it facilitates the anti-inflammatory effects. And finally, the oxygen demand will increase the erythropoiesis. Okay, so RBC count also will be increased in our body. So how the resting heart rate will decrease means, so whenever we are doing physical activity, strengthen the cardiac muscle, right? So one pump, the heart will produce more amount of blood. Okay, so one heart rate, that is one pump, more amount of blood will coming out. So with a less amount of heart rate, that is less the amount number of pumps, the heart will fulfill the body's demand. Okay, because in the one pump, it releasing more amount of blood. Okay, so very less number of pump is required to fulfill the oxygen demand in our body. Okay, so the heart rate means what? One pump is called as a one heart rate. Okay, so with a less number of pump, that is less number of heart rate, our body needs will be fulfilled because every pump release more amount of blood. Clear? So this is how it reduce the resting heart rate. Whenever we are doing any exercise, what will happen? We are going to utilize the fat also. The fat deposition also converted into ATPs. Glucose also converted into ATP. Fat also will be break down and converted into ATP. So if you are having fat in the blood vessels, it leads to cardiac arrest or other cardiovascular disease, atherosclerosis like that. But the fat will be break down into ATP. So there will be no fat deposition in the blood vessels. Okay, and you're doing exercise on that time, it will improve the overall heart function. Okay, so you won't get other cardiovascular disease like blood pressure, atherosclerosis. Okay, like that you won't get that disease. Okay, then it facilitates anti-inflammatory effects. Of course, whenever you doing any physical activity, it release the cortisol hormone. Cortisol hormone has the anti-inflammatory effects. It's a stress relieving hormone. But how it's relieving the stress means by decreasing the inflammation in our body. Okay, so it has the anti-inflammatory effects. Okay, so then it will whenever you are having oxygen demand, it will increase the erythropoiesis. Erythropoiesis is a process of producing RBCs because oxygen is carried by the hemoglobin. That means oxygen is carried by the RBC. So whenever your body is in an oxygen demand, so brain will think like oxygen is decreased and RBC also decreased. So it will think like that. Because if you're anemic, okay, so you doesn't have much amount of RBC. Even though you intake more amount of oxygen, but there is no RBCs to carry that oxygen. Okay, so it will also leads to oxygen demand. So whenever you are in the oxygen demand state, your brain will increase the inspiration, that is increase the oxygen uptake, and it will increase the RBC count by erythropoiesis. Okay, so anemic patients also can do physical activity that will increase the erythropoiesis.
Yes,
Shall we
ma'am.
move to next? Yeah, fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So next is the respiratory system. Okay, so usually in the respiratory system, mainly we'll give breathing exercise. Yes, so I'm going to tell you the effects of breathing exercise. What will happen? So we can do specifically breathing exercise, diaphragmatic breathing exercise, core breathing, and we're mainly if you're doing any lateral expansion exercises, segmental breathing like that, it will increase the external and internal intercostal muscle strength. Okay, so like that, each and every muscle we can target through breathing exercise. Okay. So if you're doing any exercise for skeletal muscles, it will strengthen. Like the same way, if you are doing breathing exercise, it will strengthen the respiratory muscles. Okay. So respiratory muscle is responsible for increasing the thoracic cage movement. Yes, thoracic cage movement, the piston movement, in the bucket handle, pump handle, everything will be occurred by the respiratory muscles. So if you're having good strength in the respiratory muscle, what will happen? It leads to increase in the thoracic movements. Yes, so it will increase the thoracic expansion. So if your thoracic expansion is more, what will happen? Your lung capacity, the lung volume will increase. Yes, because you are having high thoracic expansion, so you are having more space. Lung can inflate very more. Okay, because the lung volume is increased now. So this will leads to you can intake more amount of oxygen because you are having more space now in your lungs and thoracic cavities to uptake more oxygen. Okay, so it leads to more oxygen intake. So if you are having more oxygen intake, what will happen? So your body's need will be fulfilled. There is no oxygen demand for you. Okay, so now you have to tell you how this reduce the respiratory rate.
Intake of more oxygen into our lungs, ma'am.
Yeah, good, exactly, super. So in one inspiration, because of the increased thoracic expansion, lung volume, you can intake more amount of oxygen. Okay, so one respiratory rate, with the one respiratory rate, you can intake more amount of oxygen means you no need to do many more like more inspiration and expiration doesn't require, because with a less number of respiratory rate, you can able to fulfill your body's demand. If you are doing breathing exercise, it will decrease the respiratory rate, so you won't feel breathlessness. Dyspnea won't occur to you. Okay, clear? So next, whenever we are doing breathing exercise, after the breathing exercise, we felt some relaxation, right? Somewhat. Yes, agrees everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So why we are feeling relaxation? Some people will do meditation, pranayama, yoga like that. So their mental peace will be increased. Yes, they will be very calm. They will always be relaxed. How?
Ma'am, while breathing, we will relax, ma'am, because our heart rate will be stabilized.
Good, super, correct answer. So our heart rate will be reduced, so we won't feel palpitation, and respiratory rate also reduced. So we felt relaxed. So how the heart rate will decrease? How the respiratory rate will decrease? So why we feel relaxation means activation of the parasympathetic system. Okay. So because diaphragm and lungs, everything having the vagus nerve supply. That is it's a parasympathetic nerve. Okay. So if you're doing breathing exercise, it will stimulate the vagus nerve. That is, it stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay. So parasympathetic will always try to calm the flight and fight response. Okay. Try to decrease that response, right? So we felt so relaxed because of the switching on of the parasympathetic and switching off of the sympathetic. Okay. The relaxing state, we are having good mental peace means it will shows the effect of anti-aging. That means always we looks young. Okay. If you are having good mental peace. Okay. Then one more effect is also there. Okay. Breathing exercise will increase the venous return. Okay. Anyone have any idea how it will increase the venous return? See, whenever we are doing breathing exercise, what will happen means it will increase the intra-abdominal pressure. Okay, because when we do inspiration, the diaphragm, the dome-shaped muscle, it's go for descent, right? So it will compress the abdominal cavity. So abdominal pressure will increase. Okay, so what will happen? This increased abdominal pressure compress or squeeze the abdominal veins. Okay, so if the veins is going for compression or squeezing means it will facilitate the venous return. Okay, so this high abdominal pressure compress and squeezes the abdominal veins. So thus it will increase the venous return. Clear, guys? Super, super, Anupama, great. So she told correct answer. Abdominal veins are compressed. Good. Super. So next we'll move to another system, muscle. Okay. So this is quite important because we are dealing with the muscles and joint mainly. Okay. So effect of exercise in the muscles. So I have already told you whenever we are doing any physical activity, you needs energy. That means you need ATP. So if you are needing more amount of energy means mitochondria needs to produce more ATP. So this exercise or physical activity will increase the mitochondrial activities. Okay. So what will happen if you stimulate the mitochondria, it will release ATP. So more amount of ATP will be produced. So if you are having good ATP, whatever exercise you are doing, any movement you are doing, it will improve your performance. Because you won't feel tired, you won't feel fatigue. Because mitochondria is producing ATPs continuously. So always you can use your muscles. Your muscles won't get tired. Okay. So then if you're doing activity or exercise, you can increase your muscle mass. Yes. How the muscle mass is increasing? How? Okay, see. So whenever you are doing any resistance training, okay, so what will happen means at least some micro tear, small tear will happen in the muscle fibers. Okay. So if you are moving your muscles, you are doing heavy contractions with the weights. So definitely it will cause some micro tear. So, so after stopping the exercise, your body trying to heal the tear. Okay. So how it will healing occurs means with the help of proteins. Okay. So proteins will occur. Lactic acid will build in the muscles, ma'am. They will increase the muscle mass. Okay, fine. So, but mainly the muscle mass increase occurs with the help of proteins. So that is why bodybuilders or a fitness trainer, they increase protein shakes like that. They're taking proteins, more proteins. So protein is mainly responsible for the muscle growth. Okay, protein synthesis occurs with the help of growth hormone. So growth hormone, as the name implies, it is helpful for growth. Okay, so growth hormone increase the more protein synthesis. So the tear will be healed, and with the help of the growth hormone, what will happen? Another new muscle fiber also formed, and the muscle fiber size also will grow bigger. Okay, with the help of growth hormone activation and protein synthesis. Okay, so this is how muscle mass increases after exercise. Okay, after strength training. Okay, so if you're having good muscle mass, so why bodybuilders or fitness, anyone going for gym, they're trying to build their muscles. Why? What is the need of it? Just showing our physical appearance to attract others, or only for that we are increasing the muscle mass?
It depends on individual. If someone is lean, then he needs to increase
Yeah.
his weight.
Yes, one thing, if someone is lean, they will try to increase the muscle mass. But
Yes.
some
Again,
fitness persons, okay, athletic persons also, they're trying to increase the muscle.
yeah. Yes. So it depends on his need. Suppose in bodybuilders, he needs bulk, he needs more strength. Whereas in athletes like 100-meter sprinter, just needs to increase strength without increasing his muscle mass.
Okay, if you're having good muscle mass, it will have good strength.
Yeah.
So if I'm very lean, but it doesn't say I'm weak. It's not
Yes.
like I was lean, I was having less muscle mass, so I doesn't have much strength. Not like that.
Yeah.
Yes, somewhat I agree. If you are having muscle mass more, definitely the muscle strength will be high, little bit. Okay, but the exact need of getting good muscle mass is, I told you, right, the glucose will be stored in the muscle as a glycogen. Yes, so whenever you are doing any activity, what will happen? The glycogen will be break down into ATP. Yes, so your performance will be better. Yes. So what will happen? Yeah, it helps to manage sugar level. Yes. So what will happen means, if you're having good muscle mass, you're having more space now to store more amount of glycogen in your body, in your muscle. If you're having less muscle mass, only less amount of glycogen will be stored. If you're having good muscle mass, more amount of glycogen will be stored. So you can produce more ATPs. Your performance will be good always. Clear? So that is why everyone is trying to, fitness person or athlete, everyone is trying to build their muscle. Fine. So last we are going to see the nervous system. Okay. So in nervous system, see, whenever we are doing any physical activity, it will increase the neuromuscular junction activities, because if you're doing muscle contraction, definitely we need neuromuscular junction impulse, right? So whenever you're doing any movement, it will increase the neuromuscular junction activities. So what will happen? It leads to improve the nerves properties like excitability, action potential, conductivity. Every neural properties will increase. That means it always stimulates the brain. Whenever you're doing activities, it always stimulates the brain to activate the neuromuscular junction. Okay, so overall brain function will be improved. So your thinking ability, initiation of the movement, planning of the movement, skills, coordination, balance, each and every functions of the brain will be improved if you are consistently doing physical activity. Okay, and whenever you are doing exercise, on that time, myokinase, it's a one substance. Okay, it will be released by the muscles. Okay, so this myokinase has the capability to cross the blood-brain barrier. Okay, only few substance will cross the blood-brain barrier. So this myokinase has the capability to go to the brain by crossing the blood-brain barrier. So this myokinase will be released from the muscle and it reaches the brain. It will prevent the atrophy of the brain. So that means whenever you're going for age, okay, so gradually if you're growing every day, your brain will go for somewhat, it will go for depletion of the functions. It will go for atrophy. All the cells will be become tired, like that it will go. So elderly people, that's why their memory will be decreased, their thinking ability will be decreased, movement will decrease, coordination, everything will be going for suppress because of the brain atrophy. It's a natural process. But if you are regularly doing exercise, this myokinase will have the effect of decreasing the atrophy of the brain. So even though you are in the elderly state, but you will be always looks like a young person. You can act like a young person. You will have the mentally and physically both. You will be strong like a young person. Okay, so that means this will have the anti-aging effect. Okay, clear? Now it is very common, guys. Alzheimer's disease, dementia, memory loss. Okay, it is, and stroke, everything is very common, even in the young person also. Okay, so most of the people after 50 years, they get this disease, Alzheimer's and dementia. So Alzheimer's dementia occurs because of the brain atrophy. That means neural cells are going for death. But this myokinase enters the brain, it will prevent the brain atrophy. So you can prevent most of the neurological diseases by physically active always. Okay, clear? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So the final conclusion of this is, you have to remember movement is a medicine always. Okay. So it has a good impact on each and every system in our body. So here I am not mentioning is an exercise. Okay. I have mentioned as a movement. So that it is not movement and exercise is not different. It is both the same. So exercise means we'll think like we have to do strength training, we have to go to the gym, not like that. Okay. So if you're doing any exercise, if you're doing squat exercise, you are doing hip flexion, knee flexion, trunk flexion. Okay. So you are doing some movement, joint movement you are doing. Okay. So movement and exercise is not different, is both the same. So if you are not doing any exercise also, it is not much problem, but you have to be active always. That means any sports movement, any sports kind of activities, recreation sports, somewhat you have to move your body. That's all. Okay. It is not like every day you have to do exercise. You have to move your body always. You should not be sedentary. Okay. Clear, everyone? So each and every person you're seeing as a patient, you have to educate them to be physically active always. Okay. So some people will feel laziness to do exercise, but ask them to do any physical activity. If they love to play tennis or shuttlecock like that, ask them to do that. Somewhat they have to be active. That's all.